Good morning. Hey, Ria. Good morning. Good
Good
morning.
morning. How are you?
I'm good. It's so good to see you. Thank you for getting up bright and early with me.
Oh, yes.
Most
Yes.
people, most people are like, Candy, can we pre-record this because that's a little early.
It's okay.
So I know you're an early bird because you are a woman that is on your grind. So I was like, I know you'll have no problem being up this early.
Not at all.
Well, we're going to say good morning to everyone. Thank you so much for tuning into the Good Morning Show. We're back live. Woo! Yes, I'm so excited to be back.
Yes. Good. Me too.
And Ria, thank you. And this is the time where we should come back, right? It's Women's History.
Yes.
Can I hear it for Women's History Month? Ladies are tuning in this
Woo-hoo.
morning.
Yes. Come on in. It is.
Give us some
Yes.
titty toss emojis, something in the comments. Welcome to the Good Morning Show. This is your place for faith in the morning. We are a morning talk show. We want to start your day with inspiration. So we're here to encourage
Hmm.
you to start your morning. So we feature guests, authors, speakers, pastors, entertainers, anyone who has a word of encouragement. And today, my guest is Ria Clark. Give it up for Ria.
Yay.
Oh, we can't wait to get into your testimony. But I want to share your title of your book because there is truly there is a message in your mess. Do you have a copy of the book with you? I didn't get to ask you before we got started.
Yes.
I love it. You got to show us the cover with the beautiful Survivor ribbon there.
Yes.
I love it. Love the cover. And so I want to give
Yes.
everyone who's tuning in. I want to give you a few instructions, and we're gonna let's see if we have a little background noise. I'm gonna take out the audio for 1 second, Leah. Let's see if that clears up. Okay, good. I'm just going to give us some instructions. Thank you all for tuning in. So my guest is Ria Clark this morning, and she's going to share her testimony, and not only her testimony, but more about her book. I want to let you know if you are trying to comment on the live show, first of all, you need to go to streamyard.com/Facebook. That's streamyard.com/Facebook to allow the comments. And then send your comments, send your questions as we talk to guests every morning on the Good Morning Show. We want to hear from you. We want to know where you're tuning in from. Do you have any questions for our guests? And most of all, a word of inspiration you might have. And please put that all in the comments. If you haven't subscribed to my website, you can go back and listen to past shows and podcasts and hear more from guests. Go to candybryan.com and subscribe for sure and connect with this community. So we want to hear your comments. There's the comment instructions. And so, Ria, I'm going to actually go on mute so I can take out some of this background noise, but I would love for you to introduce yourself to the Good Morning Show family.
Okay. Great. My name is Ria Clark. I'm from Sanford, Florida. I am a author, a survivor, a motivational speaker, a life coach. I also do some consulting. I do events. I have an organization called Wine and Conversation. I'm starting a new support group called Tulips. So I'm a little busy. I've also just joined a new beautiful organization that I'm a part of. We just started in October called Sisters Inspiring Sisters to Achieve Success. So I'm a busy girl and I've got a couple of, events coming up. So that's what I do.
We want to hear about all of those events because we want to come out and support, right? Well, thank
Yes.
thank you all for tuning into the Good Morning Show. This is your place for faith in the morning. I would love for all of you watching to hit the share button. Not everyone's an early bird, and so we may have people that catch this a little bit later. But if you
Okay.
send it to a friend, anyone out there watching sends it to a friend and hits the share button, we're
Yes.
guaranteed that this is going to inspire someone, right, Ria?
Yes,
So
absolutely.
if you would take us into the book just a little bit, tell us why you wrote it and a
Okay.
little bit of your story, if you could share some of your journey.
Oh, okay. I decided to write the book. Well, the book was a 10-year making. Like, I have been wanting to write a book and write a book, and I finally kept journaling and journaling, and then I would put it away. So finally, when I went through my breast cancer journey, when I was diagnosed with breast cancer back in December 2017, when I became cancer free, my whole mindset after having breast cancer changed. And it changed because I'm a procrastinator, and I have all these ideas in my head, and I have all these things that I want to do, but I procrastinate. So one of the things about after having a life-threatening disease, you think about your life and things you want to accomplish and things that you want to do. So I was like, okay, I'm going to write this book. So one day I was just sitting around and wasn't doing much, and I don't want to get in trouble, but at work one day we were really slow, and I just started writing, and I just couldn't stop, and I basically wrote this book in like 3 days. And I wrote the book because God has been really good to me, and I have made a lot of poor choices in my life that I'm not proud of, but in all of that, God saved me, and He turned my mess into a message. It made me understand why we go through some of the things that God allows us to go through. And it's because I feel it's because He's preparing you for what he has for you. Because no matter what, whatever poor choices we make, I don't know if you hear that saying, you're gonna reap what you sow. It's gonna come back. Whatever you do, whether it's good or bad, it's gonna come back to you. So he allows that to happen, but the blessing in that is that if you're strong in your prayer and you have your relationship with God, I now can look at things that I thought I got, I can look at things now when I made a choice, whether it was good or bad, that I can come back from it. And let me tell you something, a lot of people can't come back from a poor choice or a poor decision. But God has shown me time and time again, even when I thought He forgot about me, He didn't. He just put me in a place to look at, made me look back on my life and was like, I did that and I allowed that for you to be where you are today. So you can go out and encourage and educate and motivate and uplift other women to prevent them from making the same mistakes. So that's kind of how I started writing the book.
It's absolutely a book that is needed. Ria, if you are able to, are you able to find a couple sentences out of the book while I talk to everyone a little bit about our journey and how we met
Hmm.
through time? So, and I have your audio out just in case we had any feedback there. But, I met Ria a couple years ago. I feel like we were united through a sister, Shelly, uh, who she's gone on to be with the Lord, but she was a survivor as well. And there was this photo shoot that she put together every year for survivors, and it was the most. I've never experienced anything like it. Having all these survivors come together to be pampered, to have hair and makeup done. We were at Rollins College the last time the very last photo shoot, and um, we all were connected. We were sharing stories as we were getting ready. We were talking, and I remember seeing this vibrant, fired up, looking fly, hair, makeup done, and I'm like, "Who is this lady?" And I'd seen Ria around before that, even just knowing that I've seen her in this community of believers and community of women that are connected, and I just love her. I fell in love with Ria. She's amazing. And we get to serve together in Compassionate Hands and Hearts Breast Cancer Outreach, which is Vanessa Eccles' outreach. Shout out, Vanessa. We love you. And, this community of survivors, breast cancer survivors, and cancer survivors in general is strong in Orlando. So I want to let you know, if you're tuning in this morning, thank you, first of all, for tuning into the Good Morning Show. Hit the share button right now down below the post and share this with someone and tell people about the fact that they can connect. They can connect with me. They can connect with Ria, and you can get her book. And I'm asking Ria to pull a piece out of her book to share with us this morning. The name of the book, let me post it up here again.
Mm-hmm.
There's a message in your
In
mess.
your mess. Mm-hmm.
share something, Ria?
Yes, one of the things that I wrote that kind of when you open the book, it's like bam. I put no matter who you are, no matter what you did, no matter where you come from, you can always change and become a better version of yourself.
Woo, I love it. I love that
Mhm.
because we're constantly reinventing ourselves
Mhm.
as moms,
Yes.
as women.
And, and then I also have another one that I would like to share um, about us women. We, with this being Women's Month, I'm very a big advocate on supporting one another.
Yeah,
So this, I thought when in the book I talk about that because it's amazing how we can meet the person that is meant to be our friend, our girlfriend, our our season, our forever, in a weird, awkward situation, and it's almost like when you go through something, it was bad, but at the end of the day, where the devil made it for get bad, God made it for good.
that's
So it's
right.
almost like, okay, maybe I'm kind of glad I went through that situation because I wouldn't have met that person
That's
who
right.
now is a very big point of my life. So I put this in the book. It's called "A Flower Does Not Think of Competition with the Flower Next to It. It Just Blooms."
Woo, that's good.
Hmm.
So we're
So
blooming together, Ria. We're blooming together.
yes. So, I love sisterhood because we do so much. We all have our individuality. So,
Mhm.
no one can take that from you. Nobody can take your gifts that God gave you because everybody got a purpose and God gave everybody a gift to share with the world. So, nobody can take that, but you can take that gift and work with other women to enhance it, to make it a better moment for women who still are not don't know. I talk to women all the time who do not know what their purpose is. They don't know why they're here. They don't know what their purpose is, and they like, oh, Rhea, I just love how you do this and that. But it took time for me to figure it out because I had to figure it out. Everything that I was going through, I was thinking this has to mean something because I'm making these poor choices and then God is saving me from it. I'm doing this and he bringing me back from it. I'm doing this again and he bringing it back from me. Okay, so now I'm got to stop and think, okay, he's not going to keep saving you. You're going to have to do something with what he's keep blessing you and bringing you back from. So with this month, I tell and encourage women all the time. Yes, I have my own business. Yes, I know how to do things. Yes, I have a gift. But if it's something you want to do and you need my help, then I'm there because that's what we're supposed to do. Sometimes it's not about you. Sometimes you're supposed to be in somebody else's joy that they want to bring. God also made us servants. We're servants and we can be leaders, and it's okay. It's okay. It doesn't diminish who you are because you're helping someone. Sometimes you have to sit back and relax and let someone else have the light shine on them and you be that support system for them because a lot of women of color do not feel they get the support of women of color, and I want to change that.
I love that you've always been a supporter. You're like, I'm there. I see. My first impression of you actually was when I went to the Compassionate Hands and Hearts breast cancer outreach, and Vanessa's like, and we've got Ria. She's got her own business, and she brought these gift bags in, and I'm looking like, I want to be able to do that. And you were presenting gifts, and they were so wonderfully done. And I was like, she serves women, and she's there to be support. And I love that. That was I think the first actual impression I
Hmm.
had. And
Yes.
I was just so moved by your heart to give.
Hmm.
So we probably have people watching right now that are like, I want to write my story. I feel like there is a message in my mess.
Hmm.
As we get ready to close out here, would you tell us about the writing journey, and how people can take that step and get a book published?
Okay. Um, Let me just say this. I for years, this is how God is. I for years was afraid to write my book because I was like, I'm not a writer. I'm not good with grammar. I get ahead. I mean, I can write and I can do a paragraph, but I don't like it. I don't like all the grammar. And then it gets heavy on me because I'm like, okay, did I say that right? Or do I need to put a comma right there? Or do I need to put, and then I just would stop. And when people, I would talk to people, they'll be like, girl, just write your book. And I'm like, no, I'm not a writer. I can't, I'm not going to do this. But what I've learned when I was talking to someone, they said, just write. Just write. So if you're a person who wants to write your story and write your book, the devil's a liar. You are whatever you want to be. You are whatever you want to be. And if you want to write a book, you write a book. And what I did was I just wrote. And the blessing with me was I was writing and creating chapters. I didn't even know that I had that in me, that I could just write, write, write. So what I did was I wrote, and then I went to a beta reader, which was a friend of mine. Her name is Ebony. She helped me with the book. And then my brother-in-law, my cousin, Richard, he edited my book. So there are different levels of writing a book that I have been appreciative. And then my publishing company, which her name is Tanya Freitas, Love Wins Publishing, she published my book. But she not only published my book, she became a friend of mine. She became encouraging. She became uplifting. And she helped me like get through this book. And every time I felt like, okay, I'm not ready, I'm gonna just wait, she would stay on me and she'd be like, okay, I'm waiting for this or I'm waiting for that. She's not only was a businesswoman, but she cared about her people. She cares about who she works with. And she made me feel so confident about finishing this book. So I tell you, God just placed people in my life to get to finish this book. And I'm very proud of it. I'm actually working on another book which gave me encouragement. Yes, right? And this, if you would have said something to me 10 years ago, I would have told you, I'm not a writer. I can't write a book. I don't like writing. I don't like this. But I felt like this story needed to be told. I really went out on a limb. I told a lot of my personal business, which my beta writer had to get out of me because I was trying to, sneak around and, not put that, but I'm going to put that. And she was like, if you're going to say it, you got to say it all. You got to give people what they want to know because they're going to have questions and you're going to need to. So if you don't want to give us the full story, then don't put it in the book. So I had so much guidance with this book. And I thank God for them all the time. And I finally finished it. And I still can't believe I did it.
We are so proud of you. Tell us on this journey, I'm sure it was hard to be transparent, but tell us one of the maybe from one of the chapters or one of the stories that you had to share that was hard to share, which I'm sure turned into a testimony. Can you share one of the stories that you included in the book as we close out and use it as a way to encourage someone who's watching right now? I want you all to hit the share button because I think that by the time we're done with this broadcast, someone's going to be encouraged this morning, and we are your place for faith in the morning. So what was one of the toughest things to put into the book and encourage someone this morning?
Good question. One of the toughest things that I wanted to put, one of the toughest things I put in the book was that I didn't want to talk about was rejection. Um, when I was young, when I was with my son's father, I was the rejection when somebody tells you they no longer want to be with you or they no longer love you or don't want to deal with you anymore. That was hard for me because I didn't want to relive that because I had pushed that so far back into my head that I didn't even want to address that. But in rejection was exception. You know, I that probably was the best thing that could ever happen to me. It made me grow as a woman. It made me be more protective of my heart and who I allow to be in my space. I had to learn I can control who I allow to be in my life, in my head, in my space, in my heart. And because of that, I became more cautious of allowing people to get close to me. And some people may think, oh, you blocking. No, it wasn't that. But we sometimes give ourselves to somebody so much and we don't get it in return. So what I've learned is if I give you some of this, you're gonna give me some of this. I became more um aware of how I allow people to deal with me and my feelings in my heart. So now I'm at a point in my life, you can't do but so much to me. Even in my life, I'm 47 years old, and because of that journey, because of being told you're ugly, you're fat, just all the nasty things that a person can say to me. Now, because I have self love, and I love me, and I love who I am, and I love what I've become, and I know what worked hard to be. Now, maybe 10 years ago, that would have hurt my feelings, but now I have a comeback for you. So now when you say you ugly, you fat, oh no, baby, no, I'm not. I'm not. I am beautiful. I'm a woman. I'm smart. I love hard, and I'm not going to change who I am. So if that's how you feel about me, that's not my problem. That's your problem. And I thank God that I'm there in my life, because 10, 15 years ago, I wasn't there. So I
Yeah.
encourage people, work on yourself. Before you get on relationships, before you do things, work on yourself. Pray to God, give you clarity. Start working on your relationship with God, because he's the number one. So he's the number one. There's nothing more greater than him. But we have to love him so he can teach us to love ourselves. And that, I promise you, will keep you from making poor choices and decisions for people to hurt you anymore. So that's my um that was the biggest thing for me, reliving some of the things that I have healed from.
Yeah,
But
that
when you heal, but when you heal from it, then you can talk about it and it doesn't bother you. And that's the truth.
that's the truth. And I can see
Mhm.
it in the way that you talk about it now, even
Mhm.
because you're like, you're like, I already got the answer from the Lord, and He's already shielded my heart and healed me.
Mhm.
Um, so if you are tuning in just now or just joining us, good morning, Brenda. Thank you so much for tuning in. She says, Amen. Yes. Uh, Brenda is
Yeah.
actually one of our volunteer leaders with women's ministry that I'm part of called Renew.
Oh, good.
Of Renew. Renew stands for Reaching Every
Mhm.
Need for Every Woman.
Oh, beautiful. I
Isn't
love
that
it.
cool? That was a God
Yeah.
acronym.
But I
um,
also wanted to just, if it's okay if I do a quick shout out. I'm like I was telling you, I'm part of a organization. It's called Sisters. It's called Sisters Inspiring Sisters to Achieve Success. We have a Blazers, Chucks, and Pearls event coming up March 28th.
nice.
Um, yeah, March 28th, and it is going to be amazing. If you want to know any information about that, you can just reach out to me at my email address that you see there, or Facebook, or Instagram. But yes, I think this is going to be a powerful event for women, of what I just spoke about coming together, supporting each other, empowering, uplifting. Yeah, it's Women's Month, and we need to celebrate this month and celebrate each other, support each other, and that's what I plan to do this month. So if you can, come on out.
Well, I love it. And I'm going to put the name of the book up again. And can you tell everyone where we can purchase it? You can hold up the book.
You can purchase this book
Under the
at Amazon.com. It's on Amazon. Or you can reach out to me. I have copies and I can send you one. The books are $15. You get a signature. You would get a autograph copy of. Now, if you get it from me, you get an autograph copy. If you get it from Amazon, then they will send it to you. So I am on the platform of Amazon.com, and like I said, you can get it from me as well. I, uh, I personalize my books because it's about me. So you see, I put my little sticker, and then I put little stuff in here when I sign it. I
Oh,
give
I
you a
love
little.
that.
Yeah, so I do personalize my books when I give them from me. But I encourage you, if you live out of state, you can always go to Amazon.com.
Ria, I'm so excited that you have joined us this morning. We're elated about you stepping out on faith to write this book. The name of the book
Mhm.
is There is a message. There's a message in your mess by Ria Clark. And if I'm going to remove this name so they can see where to contact you. And
Mhm.
if you reach out to Ria at her email, you can also get information about the women's event coming up on the
Mhm.
20th, right? On the 20th.
Yes. Mhm.
All right. Well, Ria, I want to thank you for being my guest this morning. Woo!
Thank
We
you.
did it. We
Woo,
did it. I'm going to sit here
Thank
and talk.
you.
I'm going to talk to the Good Morning Show family for just a moment about what's coming up. Ria, we bless you. Have a great day, and I'll be in contact after this sometime today, I'm sure.
All
Thank you
right.
so
Well,
much.
thank you. Thank you so much for having me. And I'm so happy and proud of you, what you're doing. Keep on looking out for us women and doing it because you're doing it well. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, I'm just so excited that I get to be amongst women like Ria, like so many of the survivors that are in our sisterhood. And for many of you who are tuning in this morning, good morning to you. Thank you for tuning into the Good Morning Show with Candy Bryan. It has been a long time since I've gone live, and I was replaying the shows. Thank God for technology and all these apps that they have. And it's awesome to have the ability to be able to rebroadcast. Some of the guests that have been on the Good Morning Show have been absolutely amazing on a national level. They can hold their own on any stage, on any platform, and they took time to come to the Good Morning Show. And the Good Morning Show is really your place for faith in the morning. I've struggled for like a year to say, how can I keep doing this? This is something I absolutely love, right? I love talking to people. I love listening. I don't think I'm the biggest talker in the world, but I love listening to women's stories, to anyone's story, to men's stories. And the Good Morning Show really has been just a place that even as I'm listening to a testimony, I'm getting healed, just as you guys are listening and getting healed and getting encouraged in the morning. I remember thinking one day, well, I don't know if I'm going to keep doing this because you don't know. Sometimes you don't know if it's helping anyone. I see the comments often, and even with all the encouragement, sometimes whatever we're pursuing in life, our purpose. How can you be loving something and doing something and discouragement is still on your heels trying to keep you from pursuing the purpose of God in your life? It happens to everyone. And I just remember one morning, I was like, well, the replay's there. If I don't post a new one, it's okay. It probably won't be missed. But then at the last minute, I kind of woke up and I said, well, I'm going to post this one interview. I think it was with a therapist. Might have been Janie Lacey. Shout out to the therapist that joined the Good Morning Show. Janie Lacey, Shelly Fan. Love you, ladies. And I think I replayed Janie's interview. And at the last minute, when I wasn't going to post the show, I did post the show. And that morning, I got a message. And the message said, thank you for your show this morning. My niece has been suicidal. And I watched your show, and I'm going to connect her with the therapist that was on your show because this is what I needed to hear. So when you hear feedback like that, it makes you want to keep going and remembering that whatever you're doing in your purpose is actually not for you. So Brenda this morning, who's watching, and Millie, good morning, Millie, have been watching, and they're part of a women's ministry that we have and that we run, we operate. It's called Renew, and Renew stands for Reaching Every Need for Every Woman. And it's a prayer ministry, but it's also a ministry where we can give to women in need, whether it's food, whether it's money to help them to make it to the next month so they're not facing eviction, we visit those who are sick and shut in, whatever it is that women need. We have so many amazing women that are part of Renew that we can reach those needs. And I'm telling you, these women have encouraged me. There was a word that we have a prayer call on Wednesday, and a word of encouragement came forth this morning, talking about delay is not denial, and your purpose is not for you, it's for someone else. So I just want to encourage someone who's watching this morning. First of all, hit the share button, share the Good Morning Show. I pray that the guest who was on this morning, her testimony, her book will be a blessing to you. But also, just want to encourage you that if you're pursuing purpose, you're on the journey to writing the book, to starting the business, to launching the ministry, to doing your nonprofit or outreach, and you're hitting discouragement, right? There's something that you want to do. There's something that you want to launch because it's been in your heart and you're just facing adversity. I will tell you this morning to not only to regroup and get into a place where you're hearing from God, but just remember that adversity is going to come as you continue to move forward into whatever it is that you want to pursue. It's going to come. So if we anticipate it, when you're building a business plan, you build out your business plan to anticipate challenges. You do budgets. You make contingency plans. You try to find ways to mitigate risks. There's a lot that goes into a business plan. We make our plans with the thought in mind that adversity is going to come. Challenges are going to come. And when we think that way, and when we ask God for wisdom, the word of God says that he's faithful. He's faithful to give it. If you ask him for direction, if you ask him for wisdom, he's faithful to give it. And so thank you for the amens. We have the amen corner here. Hey, Cheryl, good morning. Good morning, Stephanie. Thank you for tuning in to the Good Morning Show. I just want to encourage someone, don't stop. Don't stop in the process. I have this picture that I took of an Instagram post the other day, and I wish I would have had it to put on the screen. But I'm going to read it to you because it's right here. It changed my whole mindset. It's funny how one post, don't stop posting. For those of you who love posting scripture, who love posting inspirational, motivational, whatever, don't stop posting because you feel like no one's watching it. I'm talking to myself right now. Don't stop posting the show because I feel like no one's watching or no one has said anything. Hey, Nancy, good morning. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for the hallelujah, Brenda. I'm with you. So I came across this Instagram post, and hey, Cecily, the queen of resilience right there. She said the P word, Power of the P. That's Cecily Wilson's book. Go check her out. Cecily, when are you coming back on the show? We talk every day. We talk every day. We need you back on the Good Morning Show, right? I love you, Cess. So this post said, I'm going to read this. I might have to read it twice. The post on, thank you to LHR Consulting. I think that's them. I'm going to plug them somewhere in the post. It says, keep going. Keep going. You never know who is watching you and inspired by your determination not to quit. Keep going. You don't know who's watching. You don't know who's inspired by your determination not to quit. She said, now, yes. Look, Cecily, can we do Thursday or Friday? Well, I'm just going to put it out there. I'll put you on the spot. Look, come on the show and let's talk. Let's talk, please, this week, because this is the season for you to speak, and your voice is going forth to inspire women. It's Women's History Month, ladies. Shout out Women's History Month. Let's get it, y'all. Let's just have these conversations. So this is something that was below the post, and I'm going to close out with this. Trust and know that someone is always watching. It may be the very least person you'd expect. They're watching you push through the obstacles that may come your way, the rejection, the setbacks, the doubt that you have experienced. You're an example of what not giving up looks like. That was my favorite part. You are an example of what not giving up looks like. You're the one who sets the standard. It's a new month. It's new beginnings. And thank you for that post. I wrote them. I was like, I don't know who you are on Instagram, but you wrote this post and it was everything for me at the moment. I needed to hear it. And yes, thank you, Cecily. Don't let the delay disrupt your determination. Woo! The D alliteration. I know you have the P alliteration, right? That's your thing, but that's good. That is good. Well, I hope that you all have enjoyed the Good Morning Show today. Go back and watch the replay. Ria Clark is a breast cancer survivor. She's my sister survivor. She wrote a book, There's a Message in Your Mess, and check out that. But also hit the share button. So everybody who's watching right now, hit share it with someone, and we will continue to be here every weekday morning, 7:45 a.m. Eastern the Good Morning Show. Someone's calling me right now. We're about to talk about what the Lord has said. I can't wait. But I love you all. Thank you for tuning in. Share this. Hit the share button now. Visit candybryan.com to watch replays of shows and then podcasts. And until tomorrow, 7:45 a.m. Eastern, have a great day.